Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Today Mañana. I'm Michael. This is Xavier. We're so happy you're joining us on I would say a warm day, a spring day for sure. Yeah, it definitely dropped a little bit last night. You told me it dropped under 50. I was a little surprised. I was like,
that's what I read. I mean, I didn't keep temperature during the night, but
yeah. Well, we need you out there with a little thermometer. It's like as you call out.
All I worry about if it's going to be frost. If there's no frost, we're good to go.
I know. Especially considering when you just planted your little garden. And,
that's right. It'll be big soon.
I know it will be big soon. Yeah, we got little apples on the trees, but yeah, I think we should be past frost weather though.
Yeah,
I have to say,
I
think so too. Yeah. The only problem with your garden right now is we're being infested by bunny rabbits.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we're gonna have to find a solution for that.
Well, I have one, but
a non-violent solution.
That's the problem.
Yeah, we don't want to be called up by Peter going, "What happened to the bunnies in the backyard?" But as always, we're presented by Emergent Financial Services. We're powered by Craddock Serious Insurance, Castle Hill Cider, Charlottesville Opera, and Yo Matias Realty, as well as Forward Adelante Business Alliance, FABA, the premier Latino business alliance here in Charlottesville.
And don't forget this is my line, right? I mean, it's the only thing I have to remember. You gotta
like,
share, and subscribe.
There we go.
I'm done for the day.
Okay, we're good.
Check that out. We'll see you later.
Yes, exactly.
we did all the hard work for today. So I don't know about you. Are you ready to jump into our two wonderful guests?
Like I said, we have fabulous guests today, and these next two guests are going to provide valuable information to a lot of people. I think it's wonderful.
Okay,
I'm so happy.
So let's get to it. So we're proud to have Angela Windett and Margo Steinlage from Steinlage Insurance Agency here with us. Ladies, how are you?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Great. Good morning.
So my first question is going to be very simple. So tell us a little bit about yourself, the Steinlage Insurance Agency, kind of what do you do, how you got started, all that jazz.
Yeah, gosh, loaded question. How much time do you have?
No. I mean, we got time.
30-second elevator
I wanted to combine
here.
a bunch of questions. This is why I didn't have to keep asking one by one. I was like, all right, let me just kind of like combine.
When I first started this business, I went to like a executive coaching event, and the woman said, "What's your 30-second elevator pitch?" Put me on the spot, and I'm like, oh gosh. I'll make it 3 seconds. We maneuver Medicare is what we do here at Steinlage Insurance. How I got started, I always joke I was born with a Medicare card. It's a family business, third generation. So I work with my dad and my brothers. My grandfather started the agency. We expanded in the last few years from a Midwest kind of mom and pop shop. And now we have 3 offices here in Virginia.
Fabulous.
So Northern Virginia, Charlottesville, here local, and Richmond. So we are tapping into the Virginia market not only for Medicare and consulting in the health insurance space for Medicare, those of you who are 65 and older, but also for individuals like you, Michael, who may need insurance and you're under 65. Mm-hmm. We do the Obamacare ACA coverage as well. So we work with a lot of local families. Doesn't matter your income, but our whole team is here to assist people when they lose insurance or have a health scare and they don't have insurance. Personally, my personal background, I went to law school at St. Louis University. Again, I'm a Midwest girl at heart. I'm not a local Charlottesville lady, but
we won't hold that against you.
Yes, but I love the area. I moved here, we bought our farm in 2020.
Wow.
We're over in Greene County in Standardsville. So we like to come, my husband and I, we like to come down to Charlottesville for our date nights once a week. But we moved down here in 2020 and opened up an office, and it's really expanded. We just got the top insurance agent of the Reader's Choice of Charlottesville,
Fantastic.
kind of best of Charlottesville. They just announced that last week.
Congratulations.
That was a huge win for Steinlage Insurance Agency. And my colleague here, Angela, has been a spearhead on all of my networking events, and that's how you guys came across us.
That's
was
correct.
Because of beautiful Angela here and her spunky personality.
Thank you.
Yeah, Angela, what about you? Why don't you walk everybody through your background?
Well, I'm a Richmond native. I'm a VCU graduate. I have a bachelor's in science being a teacher, and that's what I did for a long time. I was a teacher. And then I did get into the Medicare background and started selling Medicare and ran into this lovely lady at a football game, and ever since then she was not going to let me not be part of her team, and I've been part of the team for about a year now.
I roped her in.
Yes, she
Wow.
did.
So at a football
never
game, you
leaving
two
me.
met.
We did. We met at
Yes.
a football game.
Is that how the
She-
conversation even get started?
Well, she was throwing out footballs, and I was sitting right next to her husband with my 3 kids. Mind you, my 3 kids are all under the age of 4 at the time, so I was like struggling, like, don't fall down, don't eat that, don't kick that man in the back, like, blah, 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 blah. And then her husband came over. The football had like something that like sparked my interest, and I said, oh, like, what does your wife do? And he was like, oh, she is in financial advising. And I said, oh, well, I'm in Medicare. We should totally connect. Like, there's a lot of just, mutual clients here. And so he gave me, you came over with a football. You gave my kids footballs. And all I had to take her number was literally a spiral notebook and crayons. And so I said, here, write down your number. I'll give you a call this week. Let's connect. Like, just purely from a networking and business development side. And then I found out from her husband later in the game that she did Medicare and has like a full-blown Medicare background.
Wow.
So in my mind, I'm already kind of thinking like, oh, Angela's my next employee. Like, I know she's going to be on my team. So flash forward a month, we connected again, and within like 7 weeks, she was hired. And we've been
Exactly.
just bobbing and weaving and helping Charlottesville seniors and those who need health insurance ever since.
Yeah.
Well, it's really interesting because, we're in the financial planning business for retirement, and it's incredible how many people truly don't understand the Medicare process, because you have no idea how many people come to us and say, yeah, no, I'm finally going to Medicare, I don't have to pay for anything. And it's like, time out, Medicare's not free, right? And there's so many options, right? So it's great to have somebody like you guys that you can say, listen, you need to go talk to these folks, because again, there's many options, right? And you need to try to figure out what fits you best, right? What fits your finances best, what fits you with your medical coverage. And it's just, it is amazing, because I know that like a year before I turned 65, I would get mail like this from just about everybody, and it's like, what is all this, So tell us a little bit about kind of what the process is, if somebody comes to you and says, I'm 64 and I know I'm going to go on Medicare, how do you help them? What do you do with them?
Yeah, I think you are spot on with the noise in the market. Somebody turns 64 and a half, and all of a sudden they're getting 15 to 20 mail pieces every day. They're getting cold calls on the phone, even though they're not on the do not call list, or even though they're on the do not call list. Sometimes they'll get people knocking on their door. It's just a very noisy time in somebody's life. What we generally do with our clients or prospects is we recommend connecting with our team about 6 to 9 months out from your 65th birthday. And the first kind of meeting with Steinlage Insurance is really just educational. And Angela, with her teaching background, she says she was a teacher. Mm-hmm. She still is a teacher. Everybody needs health insurance.
Exactly.
We are not selling, we are educating. So that first introduction with our agency and our team really is like an hour consultation, just getting the lingo, removing any of the anxiety from the room, letting our clients sleep the next day. Sometimes we get emails or responses and reviews that say, after our meeting with Steinlage, I can finally sleep because I'm not anxious about this big elephant in the room called Medicare.
Right.
So that first introduction with our agency, we educate, and then as we kind of walk towards that 65th birthday, we really are kind of fine-tuning a plan. And sometimes our advice is as simple as, hey, stay on your current coverage. You don't need Medicare under your circumstance. You don't need us yet.
Right.
Other times it's, hey, we're creating an entire timeline. We're going to enroll you in Medicare before your 65th birthday so that your 65th birth month, I'm born June 29th, I would be eligible for Medicare on June 1st if
Exactly.
I were turning 65. So those 3 months building up to that 65th birthday really are critical for someone in a spot that needs Medicare. And then we go through all of the different products that are available. So, Angela, why don't you tell them about the different products? I mean, you see Joe Namath every October with his really white teeth and all the football studs from the 1970s and 80s, and they're all talking about one type of product, which is cool, but there's a whole different product available for those who don't want what Joe Namath is pitching. Right. So our agency really is able to work with all carriers, all insurance product in the state of Virginia, and we have clients all over the country. So we're not just limited to, what we see on Medicare.gov or maybe don't see on Medicare.gov. Yeah. We can really give our clients the true view and pros and cons of the different routes to take with regards to insurance.
And I think that's the part of the education is so people understand their options, because Medicare can be like a foreign language to people, and it's overwhelming. So when we talk to them about their options, they can look at supplement or Medigap plans, or they can look at Medicare Advantage, also Part C. So just depending on what they're comfortable with and what they need their coverage for, we help figure out getting their doctors, seeing which direction they really need to go into. Prescription drug plan, it's really important to know what prescriptions they're on so that they can have a plan that they can actually use. We see so many people that are on drug plans and maybe they don't do their review every year and they're stuck on a plan that they can't use. So it's really important to get this information so that we can guide them to decide which direction they're going to go on with their plans.
And that's a key point, because the other thing that people don't realize is that every year you really need to review this, right? Because I recognize the fact that, especially like in the drug plan, right? Mm-hmm. As you grow older, all of a sudden you need a particular new medicine. And you're sitting there and you go, wait a minute, that medicine, that I thought was going to be cheap is like $40, right? Every time I got to take it. So there are other plans. So every year really have to review your plans and see what's changed in your situation and what's best. Isn't that the case?
Absolutely. October 15th to December 7th is the time frame that gives everyone the opportunity to make those changes. And if they do make a change, it's effective for January 1 of the next year. Yeah. And if you don't, then unfortunately you are stuck in your plan.
Yeah.
The donut hole is always a fun conversation to have with Medicare clients. So it's for those of you listening, the donut hole is this gap in drug coverage. And if you're on a very expensive drug, $1,000 medication, your copay in the middle of the year will go from like $20 to $200. And we do a really thorough job of explaining the why behind that increase in cost on your drug. And as Angela said, make sure we are doing everything in our power with a product available for Medicare to avoid that exposure mid-year for clients hitting the donut hole. We're also really big with webinars during the open enrollment. Like, we want to bring in all of the updated regulations that are happening every year with Medicare. Biden in August of 2022, so last year, passed regulation that's really manipulating the cost of medications for seniors all over the country. Mm-hmm. So we bring that new regulation into our teaching component with each and every client so that they know what to anticipate year after year as they're on Medicare with their product. And I would say the annual review is super specific. If you're on a Part C Medicare Advantage plan, you may have an HMO or a PPO that was set 3 or 4 years ago. And, oh man, there's 5 other plans that have since come out in my Medicare Advantage product that include all my doctors, all my drugs, have, a third of the exposure, way better benefits, dental, drug, vision, hearing. Right. That, your advisor that you talk to once and now you have no relationship with, they're not proactively telling you these things. This is where Steinlage really comes in and shines is, hey, we want to touch base with every one of our clients each and every year. It's never a set it and forget it. That's a rookie move for an insurance policy, is to set it and forget it. Your rates increase, the formulary may change, your doctors may change. Reviewing is we can't harp on it enough. And like the biggest hurdle is when you're turning 65, there's all this paperwork, there's all this new education. If you do speak a foreign language, we have Manny in our office who speaks Spanish. He's El Salvadorian, so he's very involved in the Northern Virginia community. But we do all this legwork to get you into Medicare, and then we take the pride to hold your hand each and every year as the market shifts and bring that out in our annual review with each and every client. So that's, as owner of the agency, co-owner of the agency, like I pride myself and my team and our efforts in that annual review, because not a lot of agencies are that proactive and energetic around the outreach with the reviews.
I agree, because most of the time, people will help them sign up and then it's like, okay, we're done.
Yeah.
Ours, you're going to have a revolving relationship with us every year. And I think that's comforting.
We know where you live.
That's comforting. That is so
and
comforting
your medication.
to people. I think we said we filtered about 8,000 calls during open enrollment last year.
Yeah.
So that's how busy we are.
Wow.
So, yeah.
And is this especially during the fall months, because when the enrollment begins or whatnot?
Yep. So Medicare open enrollment is October 15th through December 7th. So it's like our tax season. Angela has toothpicks on her eyes. My husband hates me because I'm never home during October through December. You kind of have this whirlwind of 7 weeks to make a change under current regulations. And it's a hard time on all of us as employees and boss, but we do a lot of help for seniors. We can usually save people anywhere from like $500 to a couple $1,000s on their medications, because it is like wild, wild west with the drug market.
Yeah.
I mean, your drug plan, perfect example, very popular Part B drug plan, changed one very popular heart medication from a tier 3 to a tier 4. So it went from like a $40 copay to like a $150 copay. And these drug plans will send out what's called an annual notice of change document. It'll say, your drug plan went up $2 in premium. And then it'll lay out the formulary. But nobody looks at the formulary.
Right.
And nobody's looking at, tier 3 to a tier 4, what's the cost change? But that's where we come in and we really shine. And we say, hey, we can move you to almost a similar priced premium plan, but we're going to save you, $2,000 on your drug cost throughout the year. Oh, yeah, I want to sign up and
Absolutely.
move. Perfect. Okay. And that really is our value add, is the Part D
I agree.
reviews.
And I think also, if we have these reviews, it may just not be making a change. It may just be telling a client, hey, stay put.
Yeah.
And that's peace of mind that we're doing our job, that we're not just trying to sell them some other plan.
Yeah.
We're telling them to stay put and that we'll review this again the next year. So it really does give them peace of mind and comforting to them as well.
And that's October 15th. And then we also do, for Michael's and myself and Angela's, we're under 65. So we also do ACA. So if you don't have access to your employer's health plan, or you're not working, or you're a solo practitioner, you own a food truck or a restaurant, and there's only, 3 or 4 employees, the ACA marketplace is a great spot to find insurance for you and your family. And that's where we can come in at Steinlage Insurance Agency and hold your family's hand, shop for the right product, and get you lined up with health insurance coverage for January 1st. And the biggest thing we see is, oh man, I can't afford insurance. Like, I make $30,000. I can't afford a $200-$300 premium.
Right.
Well, the beautiful thing here is with ACA, Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, interchangeable terms there. If you are making anywhere from like $18,000 to $120,000, depending on your household size, if it's 1 or 5 individuals, you have a couple kids, a spouse, you can qualify for like free premium under ACA Obamacare. So that's been a big just hurdle with the community, is teaching and educating that, hey, you can afford health insurance. Like we had a guy come in and do our videos and photos for our website a few months ago, and him and his teammate were like, oh, we don't have health insurance, we can't afford it. I'm like, hold on, let me get my computer. How old are you? What's your zip code? What's your modified AGI? What are you making this year in 2023? Pulled it up. Hey, we can get you, health insurance for $50 a month. What? Like, yeah. So
exactly.
he called
and
the beautiful thing too is that if you don't have it right now, there are some special election windows where you can get coverage for June 1, July 1. So I just want to throw this out there because some listeners may be in this boat shaking their head saying, oh yeah, this is me, Margo. Give us a call. If you are uninsured or underinsured, we can change that and just take a look at what your situation at hand is.
How many customers come to you basically being like, I actually have no health insurance? Is that a large portion?
Yeah, I wouldn't say most of what we do is Medicare, so
Okay.
I wouldn't say it's a large portion, but we definitely hear it. I'm just walking down the street, I always want people to know what I do, and hey, we have a really successful health insurance agency. But just talking to people at church, in the community, I have 3 kids. I'm always talking to parents. Like, I mean, you'd be shocked. You think somebody's insured, but they're not. So I wouldn't say it's frequent,
if you're not insured, like if you didn't sign up during like the November, December window, I think it usually is for people under 65. Can you still get it like during the middle of the year? Or?
Depends on like if you qualify for a special election window, and that's why we would want somebody to call us now. Don't wait. And then if you call us now, and we are kind of sifting through the special enrollment windows, election windows, and you don't really qualify for one, then our team is going to proactively reach out to you because now you've come into our family. Now we can reach out to you in October and say, hey, November 1st through December 15th is the under 65 open enrollment window. Let's reconnect. What are your drugs? What's your anticipated 2024 income? And let's get you insured for January 1st. So again, we always want to just get eyes on a situation before we do a blanket recommendation to say, hey, wait until open enrollment, because sometimes we can get people insured mid-year if they have a qualifying event. If they aren't eligible for Medicaid, they just moved, they lost their job recently, they're on COBRA, they're dropping it. There's just some special windows that we can open up and get you coverage for June 1.
Well, we have some fans. So Johnny
Hey,
Ornelas,
fans.
Elizabeth Urpí's watching. Miguel Corradine said, buongiorno, very interesting information about the health insurance. I may need a quote from Margo. And
Miguel's using a little Italian there, huh?
Yeah, buongiorno. I thought he said
Buongiorno.
buenos dias, but no, buongiorno, yeah.
I have my
Lily Garay
latte
is
here,
watching,
so. I'm ready.
And there's a reason for it, right? Because, like I said, and it's interesting because you mentioned the windows, right? And those windows, first of all, they're not very wide, right? October 15th to December, I forget the date, but early December. It seems like a long window. You get it, you go, oh, I got time. Time goes like this. Before you know it, it's like it's December. It's like, oh, Lord, I haven't even done my homework yet.
Yes.
So it's fantastic to have somebody that does that for you, where they'll call you, say, we're reviewing your plan, and there's something better, so tell us a little bit. It's like what we do with our clients when we do their financial plans. It's not one and done either, right? Because things change. Their salary may change, their income may change.
Everybody's different. Everyone needs different needs.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah. And this is such an important part because, medical expenses are one that we can't forecast, right? We can estimate, but we can't forecast perfectly. So as things change, it's so important for us to know, all right, there's been some changes to my medical expenses. Here's what they are. So it's great to know that, from the clients, and having somebody as yourselves be able to help them with that. I think it's terrific.
And we start our process in August. We'll send out our review form to all of our clients in August. As long as we get that back, we'll do that annual review with them during the period of time so that we can make sure that we can make a change if they need it.
Yeah.
If somebody's been on, Xavier, I would even pitch this to you, somebody who's been on Medicare for some time and maybe you got a little sleepy in the back burner and insurance
sounds
is
like him.
not,
That's
yeah, insurance is not something you get excited about come October 15th. I highly recommend just getting a second opinion, getting a look at your coverage because, like I said, little tweaks, little nuances happen every single year with certainty. And I would say like 25% of our clients need to make a change either on their supplement because their supplement increased their rate, 6% year after year. We can get you and save you, a couple $100 on your supplement and do the drug plan review or your Medicare Advantage review. Like, don't get sleepy on your coverage. Same with the ACA. Like, always get eyes on it every year. It's an easy process. And what's cool, like we've always done kind of half and half remote, half in person. But with COVID, like most of what we do is just a simple phone call. We do Zooms, we do phone calls, we do educational events, we do in person. But a lot of people just want to call or do a quick Zoom. Hey, I don't want to drive to your office over off 29. Like, let me just hop on a call, and within, 15, 20 minutes, we can say, hey, stay put, or here's what we can save you. I mean, we're so efficient now that some people don't even call us. They're like, here's my review form. 30 seconds later, we take a peek, we run our software analysis, and we say, stay put, or here's exactly a side-by-side comparison of what you currently have and the savings with moving to an almost identical plan, just different carrier.
That's
like,
fantastic.
here's a couple $100. Oh man, let me go reinvest that with Michael over here.
Now, are there any states? I mean, does it matter what state somebody's living in?
We can help your family up in New York. We're in all 50 states, so it does not matter. Yeah, that's something we've really charged hard at for the last 3 or 4 years. Is we have become preferred partners with a lot of financial advisors and accountants around town. So we get a lot of referrals all over the country. I would say 2 years ago we had about 40 states, and now we have clients in all 50. My favorite client is now in Alaska, so that was new. That was the last feather in the cap. So
did you go there?
No. Oh, I got to drop off this policy down
Yeah, we
there.
get a field trip.
Right
It's
off.
like you get in those propeller planes.
I'm going to do an Alaskan cruise while I'm at it, so write it off. No. I wish we were that luxurious here at Steinlage. We keep it simple. We do the basics well. We answer the phone. We send the emails. The biggest thing I harp on with all of my employees is just respect and accountability. Yeah. Be responsive. If the role was reversed, I want to pick up the phone and call, my advisor, my accountant, my doctor. I want a response. Mm-hmm. And we always tell our clients, usually you'll get that response within the day, if not 24 hours. We have the manpower, we have the respect, we have the training to be kind of a stud in the health insurance market.
That's fabulous.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, so before we let you go, where can people find you? I know you have an office here in Charlottesville, but website, Instagram, Facebook, all that.
Yeah, so we're on LinkedIn, we're on Facebook, we have our website, steinlageagency.com. We also do, every month, we have 2 in-person seminars at the center over in Charlottesville. The first Thursday of every month at 1 o'clock, you can see either Angela or myself. We have an hour Medicare 101 presentation. And then the third Wednesday of every month, we have a 6 o'clock p.m. Medicare 101 webinar, or not webinar, seminar. For those of you who are working after 65 and maybe you can't get off work, that 6 o'clock one is perfect. And usually we'll get 5 to 15 people each event. So that's with certainty we're doing those events every month. But you can always pop in. We're doing walk-ins. We always recommend a appointment just to make sure there's time and you're not waiting. But we do walk-ins at the office. We're right over at if you head north on 29, we're at the UVA Discovery Park.
Oh, yeah.
Right by the airport, right adjacent to the airport,
Gotcha.
more or less. There's a nice little coffee shop there. Get a smoothie. Come hang out with us for an hour. Angela will entertain you. Sometimes I'm getting a mini pig. I already have a mini pig, but we're looking at getting a sister for our mini pig or a little brother. And Angela said, you need to bring the mini pig in and like do an event with the mini pig. So stay tuned, guys, because I think it'll be a lot of fun if that takes off. I don't know if our lease will allow for, UVA will let us bring in livestock, but we'll see.
I think a Kiss the Pig photo booth would be really cool.
Yeah, so we try to go grassroots with some of our events. Angela will tap into some of the school events. She's over in Green, so we'll get in with some of the Green and Ruckersville events. And we're looking at doing the Green Livestock Show.
In August.
August. I don't know if Albemarle has anything like that.
They have a fair, but
Yeah.
we can look at that.
So if any of the listeners have ideas, maybe we could partner with the Arepa food truck company
There you
here,
are.
who I am looking forward to hearing your podcast too. And, we're always looking to partner and collaborate. And I think the fall is a perfect opportunity to do that. There's a lot of noise, like I said, around health insurance. So if anybody has ideas on a successful, just educational event now or in the fall, I'm all ears. So
Fantastic.
you guys are the locals.
Yeah, so I guess really for any viewer right now that basically doesn't have health insurance, call Steinlage Insurance or visit them, email them before, was it June 1st?
Yeah, just shoot us an email anytime.
anytime.
Shoot them an email,
Yeah.
exactly. And then especially if you're looking into going to Medicare or just in terms of health insurance, what would you say is the best month? September, this way you're a little ahead, or October?
Anytime.
Anytime.
Don't be scared. We have an open door at
They
our
got the
office.
mini pig.
Yeah, and the mini pig doesn't bite, so.
Well, thank you
Yeah,
very much.
Margo, Angela, it's
As
so
always,
wonderful to have you both on.
Very
Very
informative. We
informative,
appreciate
yes.
it enormously.
Yeah,
Thank you
thank
so
you
much.
guys. We appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah,
This is
definitely.
cool.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, take care.
So as we rotate from one guest to the other, that was
So this
really
is
good.
an area where few people recognize how much they need to know, and again, it's an area where so much goes on, and I again only because once I got into Medicare, I realized, oh my Lord, I mean, I thought it was just going to be easy, but
I
no,
remember
this-
you going through the computer. You were like exhausted. you were
Lord,
like,
yeah, I
oh
mean,
man,
it's just one
what's
after
going
another.
on here?
So it's certainly a great place, to basically see
Yeah,
how they can help. you.
and we learned a lot.
Yeah.
As well, I know, especially for you being 65 and older, with all the Medicare. Excuse me, listen, you're the one with all the
No,
eye drops.
I'm agreeing.
You're
I'm
the one who
agreeing.
needs to figure out. I mean, how much your eye drops cost. I mean, I've still been blessed. The only time I've ever needed healthcare was that one time I dislocated my thumb. Abbott was 3 years ago, and thankfully my healthcare covered like 50% of the emergency room visit. But even then, I still had to pay like $150. I'm like, all the doctor did was look at my thumb and said, "Okay, boom, all right." I'm like, "It's back." It's like, but that cost $150.
I know.
Like next time I'm like, "What did you do?" This way, in case I ever do it, I'll pop it back in myself.
It's never the same thing, though, unfortunately.
I know. It's always the worst. I'd be like, "Pops, come on, pop it," and you'd be like, "No, I don't want to." I'm like, just push it right
Just
here.
push it right in,
push it
yeah.
right here. Well, listen, I say let's get to our next guest because I'm excited.
I mean, they brought goodies too.
I know. So from one fantastic guest to another, right now we're joined by Maria Heel and Fernando Salazar from Arepas on Wheels. Thank you so much both for being here.
Thanks for inviting us.
Buenos días, ¿cómo están?
Muy bien. Emocionados de estar aquí.
Emocionados,
Emocionado.
fantástico. Veo que tienen en la bolsa algo.
Sí, les trajimos algunas cosas. Esto es papelón con limón. Es de
Gracias.
Venezuelan typical drink. It is dark brown sugar lemonade. It's so
Wow. Well, he loves
Oh, boy.
sugar.
Yes, and we have
El azúcar es lo mejor.
good. Definitivamente.
we have some guava pequeños, some traditional pequeños.
This is
It's like a
tequeños.
cheese
Tequeños es
Oh.
Venezuelan style cheese sticks.
Wow.
It's Venezuelan cheese, white cheese, wrapped in flour dough.
Okay.
It is not gluten free. Arepas are gluten free, and it's a little bit confused for some people.
So you said they are
Yuca.
gluten free.
And yuca frita.
Yuca
The
frita.
arepas are gluten free.
Oh, so what
But-
are they made from, arepas?
We made arepas with cornmeal,
Oh, okay,
white
corn.
cornmeal. Yeah.
Interesting.
We made a dough and you form a patty and put it in the grill, or you can fry, and it's our principal bread. And you make the sandwich with this bread.
Is mejor frita or which do you prefer?
I prefer asada,
Asada,
grill,
okay.
but my daughters prefer frita. Yes.
Okay.
La-
When
los
we're
fritos-
younger, we want it fried.
Los fritos es lo
Yeah.
mejor. sin
The
duda, ¿no?
stomach can handle it better.
Tiene
Yeah.
más sabor los fritos.
Sí, señor. Bueno,
Bueno, la última vez que ustedes estaban aquí, tenían un camión, ¿no? Con arepas.
Correcto.
Y ahora tengo entendido que han abierto un lugar, ¿no? Y quizás nos pueden decir dónde está y cómo va. ¿Y cuándo van a abrir? ¿Hoy está abierto?
hoy no está abierto.
Okay.
Abrimos de jueves a lunes, pero hoy vamos a estar cerrados por eventos del food truck. Estamos en el 814 de Cherry Avenue, detrás del hospital.
Está bien. So they're at 814 Cherry Avenue. They
Yes.
have a new place now. 'Cause
Okay.
They used to be just on wheels, but now they have a brick and mortar place where
Yeah.
you can go to, and it's right by the hospital, which must be great.
Yes.
Are you still called Arepas on Wheels though, or is it just Arepas in
Yes. Arepas on Wheels, the restaurant.
The
at
restaurant.
the restaurant?
Yeah.
Yes, because absolutely right now we work with the restaurant and the food truck for private event, maybe from festival or different
Yeah.
thing.
Y ¿cuáles son las horas del lugar el nuevo?
Jueves, viernes y lunes de 10 de la mañana a 7 de la noche. Sábados y domingos de 10 de la mañana a 3 de la tarde.
Muy bien. Déjeme traducir eso, pero ya se me olvidó.
Es
Jueves.
Thursday, Fridays and Mondays 10 to 7 and Saturdays and Sundays 10 to 3.
10 to 3. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. No, that's fantastic. And so, kind of what made you take that move? ¿Por qué hicieron esa de estar en wheels a estar
On brakes.
En brakes, yeah.
La diferencia, o sea, lo que nos llevó a esto, primero fue una oportunidad que se nos presentó, no nos dio mucho tiempo de pensar, pero en realidad necesitábamos un lugar más grande, una cocina más grande, para tener más almacenamiento, más capacidad de producir, porque lo que nos estaba pasando es que con el food truck muchas veces eventos grandes ya en una hora y media estábamos ya soldados,
Sí.
ya con el tema del
De la
local
capacidad.
físico,
Claro,
pues
claro.
podemos producir más y cubrir mayor cantidad de eventos.
Yeah. So being a restaurant allows you to make more and sell more.
So I guess the kitchen is bigger, right?
Yeah,
it's
so they're
bigger,
able
yes.
to just produce more. So they had the issue was that they had a smaller kitchen, and so they were so popular with the truck that they would sell out in about an hour because it's only so much they can do. But now this really expands their ability to make
Yes,
more.
because with the health department, with the food truck, we have to prepare everything inside the truck. So right now with the restaurant, we can
We
prepare
can, yeah.
all in the restaurant.
So you can't cook inside the food truck. You
No.
can, interesting.
Yeah, with the restaurant we can cook in the restaurant and keep fresh or frozen and reheat in the food truck and cook.
Ah,
Without the restaurant, we have to make everything
inside
2
the
or
truck.
3 hours before the event inside the food truck, and it was pretty hard.
yes,
Wow.
it must be
Yeah.
much more difficult.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes,
That
but does this allow you now to expand your menu a little bit? Being in a
Yes.
restaurant?
Yes, the
Are
restaurant.
these new? ¿Estos son nuevos?
Yes, sí, todo es nuevo. Y el menú es un poco más grande. En el food truck no tenemos las bebidas, tampoco tenemos la carne asada, la parrilla, ni las empanadas.
Entonces el restaurante tienen carne asada,
Carne
Sí.
asada.
parrilla
Ajá, la parrilla.
venezolana y
Y
Tenemos
algunos
empanadas,
los
y algunos
jugos,
jugos
empanadas.
naturales. Tenemos el de passion fruit, tenemos
el papel
Eso está
limón,
rico. Esto está rico, bien rico.
tenemos mora,
mora.
que es blackberry.
Wow.
También tenemos las cachapas. ¿Conoces las cachapas?
No.
Es una tortilla de maíz tierno En Salvador creo que hay algo parecido que se llama riguas, y en Colombia las arepas de choclo o de chocolo, algo así. Es una panqueca de maíz tierno rellena de queso.
Okay.
Y eso está.
So
También
it's
tenemos
like a pancake
chicharrón.
full with cheese?
En Venezuela se llama el queso de mano.
Con queso de
Soft
mano. Es
cheese.
soft cheese. Los domingos tenemos chicharrones.
Oh,
He
chicharrones.
loves chicharrón.
I love
Oh,
chicharrones.
yeah.
Y poco a
Chicharrones con yuca.
poco,
Perfecto.
delicioso. Con la cachapa.
Con la cachapa.
Es delicioso.
¿Y esto es de guayaba, me dijo?
Queso y guayaba.
Este es queso y guayaba, y los tradicionales, que son
Déjeme
los
saber.
de queso.
Yo soy amante de la guayaba. Yo cuando era
Ok.
pequeñito, los dulces de guayaba eran mis favoritos. Gracias.
Estos son solo. These are just cheese.
Just cheese?
The-
You got the best ones. Huh?
And this is guava.
Just keep the guayaba over here.
No. You guys share.
Estas son
Oh,
algunas de
tradicionales.
nuestras salsas. Esta es la salsa de la casa con la yuca, queda espectacular.
Ay, qué rico. Oh. Fabuloso, fabuloso.
This is for the yuca. And with the guava, this is spicy papelón con limón.
Ooh.
You have the
Spicy.
drink. Es,
¿Y esos?
es una salsa que hicimos en base a esa bebida, pero es hecha por nosotros en Arepas on Wheels.
¿Y qué es el spicy? ¿Qué es lo que le ponen adentro?
Un poquito de picante, un
toquecito
toque
de
muy
picante.
suave de picante.
Why
Y eso
you
se-
raro?
y eso
Or
se
it's
come-
sweet?
No, it's
Dipping.
soft.
Okay.
You can
I don't want.
taste with
I don't want to cry on camera.
Okay.
No,
You
no, no. It's just a little bit. It's not too spicy.
I'll let him try first.
It's soft.
No.
It's
Delicioso.
Gracias.
Vamos a probar
Es
un
muy
poquito.
suave.
La de ajo.
Esta es la típica salsa de ajo venezolana.
sí.
This is Venezuelan style garlic sauce.
Oh, is it for the guava or the cheese?
For the
Both.
cheese.
Both?
No,
Like a
no,
buffet?
no with
Yeah.
guava.
No, he said
Yeah.
You gotta be careful.
it a trick?
Gotta
Are
be
you
careful,
tricking me?
Fernando.
Yeah.
Can't trust Fernando. You gotta be careful.
Dale a probar la yuca con, con la house.
La yuca.
You
Con,
come
con la house
con la house.
combina. Perfecto.
Well, the
La
guava
verdad que-
one is so good.
Yeah.
Esto es como ir a un restaurante que, tú sabes que hay los críticos que van al restaurante y le traen comida. Esto es así, es único es mejor. O sea, es interesante porque siendo cubano, todas estas clases de comidas son parecidas. No son iguales, pero son parecidas.
Correcto.
Sin duda la yuca, también tenemos yuca nosotros. Los dulces de guayaba son un poco diferentes, ¿no? Pero hay los dulces de guayaba. Y las arepas y las empanadas, pues natural, tenemos empanadas. Nunca, en Cuba no hay arepas, ¿no?
Ok.
Pero hay empanadas. Pero son sabores que son similares de Sudamérica, que son deliciosos para mí, ¿no?
Exactamente.
Entonces, claro, cada vez que viene alguien que es de Sudamérica, Ahora, a good question, pero lo haré en español.
Okay.
Las arepas. ¿Dónde nacieron las arepas? Hay gente que dice Venezuela, Colombia.
¿Respondes tú o respondo yo? Yo tengo una respuesta muy buena para eso y me la robé de una actriz colombiana. En una entrevista le preguntaron que de dónde eran las arepas y ella dijo, no me pongas en problemas, pero te voy a responder. La arepa es la hija de unos padres divorciados.
Oh, no sabía yo eso.
Sí, porque la arepa es un alimento precolombino que nace en el norte de Sudamérica, entre Venezuela y Colombia. Recuerda que antes de la guerra de independencia de Venezuela y Colombia era un solo país, que era la Gran Colombia. Era un mismo alimento, pero al separarse los países, pues los colombianos siguen teniendo su arepa y los venezolanos también.
Claro, claro.
¿Qué ocurre? La arepa moderna es venezolana porque la principal marca o el creador de la harina de maíz precocida fue un venezolano. En los años finales de los 50, principios de los 60, se populariza la harina de maíz precocido y se expande por todo el mundo. Pero por eso se dice que la arepa es venezolana. Además de que en Venezuela la arepa es un plato principal. Nosotros podemos tomar la arepa de desayuno, de almuerzo o de cena, solo arepa con sus rellenos o con sus contornos. En el resto de los países que consumen arepa o sus variaciones es simplemente un contorno, es un acompañante.
Un acompañante, sí.
Como la tortilla.
Claro,
Viene a ser como un acompañante. Pero en Venezuela es un plato principal.
Y el plato principal es porque le ponen algo adentro de la arepa. La
Claro.
rellenan.
Por lo general en Colombia la ponen como un side.
Como un-
Como un sal.
Interesting. So basically, because I always wanted to know where the arepa came from, right?
Yeah.
Because some people say it's Venezuela, some people say Colombia. And so, Maria,
Explained, yeah.
explain where it came from. And
She gave us a nice history lesson.
She gives a history, and I won't be able to repeat it all, but
Yeah.
basically the bottom line is that, it came from the border of Colombia and Venezuela, but in Venezuela, the person that really invented the arepa made out of corn, he was Venezuelan. And in Venezuela, the arepa is, la arepa, is eaten basically whether it be for breakfast, lunch, dinner. So it's a main meal, right? While in the rest of the countries, it's not. It's basically a side, and basically by side means the arepa is really just the dough, right? The Venezolanos
You could put anything
put
in there.
inside the
Yeah.
dough, and that's how
Okay.
it becomes a meal, right?
So
That's
like for
interesting.
breakfast, you could put in guava and make it sweet, like a...
Yes, absolutely. For the breakfast in the restaurant, the breakfast comes with avocado, ham, white cheese, and and fried eggs.
Nice, there you go.
The Venezuelan and Colombian people usually doesn't eat sweet stuff in the morning.
Okay.
And we just use eggs and ham, cheese, avocados, not too much guavas and jellies.
Okay.
We are salty people.
So it's almost like a breakfast burrito, but almost kind of in the form of an arepa? Or not quite?
It's not a burrito.
No.
It's a sandwich.
Sandwich, okay.
Yeah, it's a sandwich.
Aquí dice Miguel, les mando un gran saludo a Fernando y María.
Gracias,
Los
Miguel.
felicito por el gran trabajo que están haciendo y por fin podemos comer comida venezolana en Charlottesville. Y también Johnny Ornales says saludos. Y Mirna Flores también dice hola. Así que tenéis mucha gente que les gusta su comida sin duda, y yo sé por qué, porque es fabulosa.
Y no has probado las arepas. No trajimos arepas hoy porque es rico comérsela caliente.
Tendremos que hacer o averiguar dónde está el camión o ir a la tienda.
Ir al restaurante,
restaurante.
correcto. Sí,
Sin
señor.
duda.
Yeah,
Me acuerdo.
I was going to ask actually what your most popular dish was, but I feel like I kind of like probably know what it is, but I'll ask anyway. What is your most popular dish?
The most popular is the pabellón arepa.
Okay.
It's the most complete plate, brings black beans, sweet plantains, your choice of meats, beef, chicken, or pork, egg, fried egg, and white cheese.
White cheese.
Wow.
Yeah,
And is that like sweet plantains or like the fried ones?
fried.
Fried.
Fried sweet
Okay.
plantain.
Ooh.
Pero los dulces o como
Los dulces.
Dulces, so
Dulces,
the
yes.
sweet ones,
Yeah.
the sweet ones.
I know which ones, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So frijoles negros, black beans.
Your
I mean,
favorite?
you can't beat that. It's the best bean in the world. It's the
Yeah.
tastiest bean in the world.
It is.
You have my favorite banana,
Yes,
right?
maduros.
Maduros, correcto.
Exactly. You have any choice of meats, right? And what else is in there? Oh, the egg.
Fried
Oh,
egg.
Fried
wow,
egg,
fried egg.
and white cheese.
And white
White
cheese.
cheese.
Man, you eat that. Si lo como para desayuno, no hay que comer nada más el resto del día.
Bueno, esa no es una arepa para desayuno regularmente.
No, me lo imagino.
So,
Yo
solo
comería
un
la
poco
arepa,
dulce,
yo como
porque
la arepa.
somos cubanos y necesitamos un poco
correcto.
dulce.
Oh,
Solo un toque.
tenéis que hacer una arepa solamente con guayaba y queso.
Sí.
La tenemos con black beans y plátanos
Y plátanos.
maduros, que es nuestra opción vegana
Para
principal
el
en el
desayuno.
menú. Para cualquier hora.
Ah, para cualquier hora. Entonces comes eso para desayuno y después para el almuerzo comes el
Sí,
otro.
sí.
Correcto.
Sí, porque tenemos la opción para veganos, que es la Veggie Lovers. Lo puedes hacer con black bean, plantain, algunos le agregan
Aguacate.
Aguacate también.
La ventaja de la arepa es que tú puedes construir tu comida a tu gusto. Puedes ver cualquiera de las opciones que tenemos en la línea, que es visible para todos, y escoger qué quieres que vaya adentro. Entonces, es una muy buena comida para las personas veganas. También tenemos una empanada solo de black beans para aquellas personas que no comen ningún tipo de
carne,
producto animal.
animal.
También hemos incluido recientemente en el menú un postre vegano. Es el majarete. Básicamente es una polenta de coco, es dulce. Lo estamos llamando, para poder explicarle a las personas que no lo conocen, que es un flan de coco vegano. No tiene nada de huevo, es solamente leche de coco, azúcar morena o papelón como el de la bebida, y leche de coco, el papelón y la harina del maíz. Más nada. Claro, sus especias.
¿Y sabe como un flan?
No sabe como un flan, sabe a coco.
A coco. Coco.
Sabe a coco, pero la textura es como la del flan.
Como la del flan.
Qué
interesante.
Es suave.
Sí, nos hemos visto a través de los meses que tenemos trabajando, nos hemos dado cuenta que es una oportunidad incluir productos veganos, productos vegetarianos, con la ventaja que la arepa es gluten free. Entonces,
y es la población de veganos en Charlottesville está creciendo rápidamente. Y hay muy pocas opciones en los distintos restaurantes de comida vegana. Entonces, bueno, estamos trabajando en eso, en incluir más cosas.
Incluso en el food truck es muy difícil conseguir
un
food truck vegano o gluten free.
Interesante. Son cosas que, these are things that change over time, because when I was growing up,
Vegan was unheard of. Right?
I didn't even know what it was. Vegetarians, very few, right?
Yeah.
So, you just ate, most of the time, some form of protein.
Yeah.
Pero ahora las cosas van cambiando. They changed to the point where, they're able, obviously they're fortunate in the sense that, corn is vegan. So they can offer their foods
and it's
in
also
such a way.
gluten-free, correct?
Gluten-free,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
That's what I meant to say, gluten-free, yeah.
Oh, is that what you meant to say?
Vegan, gluten-free, there's all this. Oh, man, this has been great.
Yeah,
It's been
so
great.
before we let you go, where can people find you? So obviously you still got the food truck Arepas on Wheels. You still have that. Where do you usually go? Where can people follow to find out where you're going to be? Like on Facebook, Instagram?
Yes, normally with the food truck is running around Charlottesville and different places.
Yeah.
The restaurant, we told you before, is the 814 Cherry Avenue.
814 Cherry Avenue.
Can follow us on ARP Wheels.
Okay.
For
Facebook and
Instagram. And for the website is arpwheels.com.
Oh,
The
ARP.
website,
Oh,
no,
the website,
Arepas
yeah.
on Wheels.
Arepas on Wheels.
Arepas
Oh,
on
Arepas on Wheels on the
wheels.com.
website. Okay.
Website.
And on
Facebook and Instagram's
ARP
Yeah.
Wheels.
We post every week the food truck schedule.
Ah, okay, perfect.
And you can follow and check where we will be.
Perfect, that's wonderful.
I highly recommend it. If you haven't
Absolutely,
had arepas from Arepas on Wheels or any of these delicious items, I highly recommend you either
Absolutely.
go find that truck, follow it, right? Or
Well, don't follow
check
it like, in a creepy way. Just make sure you're there. Yeah. But yes, I mean, even this lemonade was delicious. Wow, I feel like
Thank
I'm
you.
getting a kick. I don't know, I'm going to have to run outside after the
No, this
show.
is
All
delicious.
sugar
I mean,
around.
this is so good. Boy, I really
Forget it,
like
I know.
this.
You're going to drink that whole thing. I know. It's probably going to last my 10 minutes.
Of course.
En Venezuela, vamos a hacer algo de publicidad, no vamos a decir el nombre completo, pero el papelón con limón, cuando hay mucho calor o tú estás muy cansado, te tomas un papelón Torey.
Y te levantas.
Por el tema del Gatorade, entonces el papelón Torey.
Papelón Torey, le dicen en Venezuela.
Instead of Gatorade, it's papelón.
Yeah,
Torey.
I got that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly what I need today. This
I
is
know,
great.
that's, yeah. And then
Man,
you can even make this even to like a little cocktail, maybe just a little bourbon or rum or something like that.
Yeah. In Venezuela, just rum.
Just
That's rum.
Perfect.
Rum. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Wonderful. Well, Maria, Fernando, it was a pleasure having you on. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
for having me.
Muchas gracias. Y
Muchas
Andre
gracias.
Xavier también dice saludos. He's watching. Y, we wish you all the best.
Absolutely.
The food is absolutely delicious,
Thank
and
you.
we're so happy that you guys have just expanded. I remember the first time we had you here, you're just starting, and you've done a great job. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
inviting us.
Y recuerdos a Johan
Seguro.
gusto.
y la familia. Wow, this is great.
That was fantastic.
Yeah.
That food was delicious. I know you love that guava one.
Oh, absolutely.
The minute I saw,
the minute he said
Fernando
guava,
said
I had
saw
to,
your
you know, I had to
face
double
light
check. I said, did he really say guava? Because
Yeah,
it
I
can't
know.
be that somebody brought me guava. I mean, he knows
I
me so
know.
well, obviously, you know.
up. I know. And the cheese was delicious.
Yeah.
The yuca. I was able to taste the sauce. I don't know if you did.
Yeah, I
got
tasted the
that.
sauce too, yeah.
Yeah, that
No,
was
sauce
that
is
was
good.
very
The
good.
sauce
Yes.
is
And now I'm
delicious,
gonna taste the garlic one too.
Yeah.
But after the show, I want to do it.
Yeah. People get like, wait, how come they're eating?
Exactly. All Xavier and Michael are doing is eating.
He's eating.
That's all they're doing, eating
Yeah,
and drinking.
yeah.
You know, we just come here just to eat and drink, and we just put a camera in front. You know, it's
Oh,
it's
man.
like one of those food shows. I always love, like in the cooking shows, you'll see the people cook, and at the end they get to taste, and it's like, come on, really? Like,
I
you're
know,
like,
I
oh,
know.
it's delicious, it's delicious.
Well, I'll tell you, this has been terrific, and I know that there's a few things that we want to
I know,
mention,
I
right?
know.
Because
So-
you know, the beauty about Charlottesville, right, is that there's so much going on. I mean, here you have Arepas on wheels, and I'm sure who knows where they are all the time. So if there's a festivity going on, I'm sure they're there. And I know that, you know, we have, I guess, Castle Hill. is
Yeah,
having an
so
event.
coming up June 10th is going to be the 231 Festival at Castle Hill. That's going to be a huge event. I know they got so many people. Last year was a blast. It was a humongous event.
Yeah.
One of the biggest, I think, in Charlottesville. And now they're doing it again this year.
Yeah,
Might be even bigger. And Xavier got the little rundown of like special access that you can get.
Well, no, so if the VIP ticket,
VIP
so
tickets,
if you get, which
exactly.
is unbelievable value, right? So if you get the VIP ticket, you get early festival entry at 11 a.m. And the VIP ticket obviously includes general admission tickets, right? Plus you get the early entry. You get a festival swag bag valued at $200 or more,
Ooh.
right? You can imagine what that is. You got an outdoor VIP tent featuring glass blowing by Katie Raz and cocktail show with Medero da Scenario, from the Bebedero. You got air-conditioned lofts lounge, right? You get a curated experience by Marigold by Jean George. Private bathroom and sweeping property views. Grazing table sponsored by Kroger. Soft seating area near festival stage. So all
Wow,
that comes
that's a lot. That's a lot.
with the VIP ticket. So I mean,
Absolutely.
that's what you want to get. I mean, there's no
Yes.
doubt about it. And like you mentioned, I know that this event was spectacular last year, and I'm sure it's going to be spectacular
yes,
this
so
year.
June 10th, it's a can't miss event. I
Yeah.
will say that.
Yeah.
And then there's even more going on in Charlottesville. So I know that on June 23rd, 24th, and 25th, Charlottesville Opera is having their Guys and Doll
That's right.
musical. So I know that's going to be exciting. I mean, I've seen the movie. I've never seen the play, but I've
Marlon
seen the movie
Brando.
with yeah, and trust me, I'm sure the singers will be much better than Marlon Brando.
I'm sure they will be.
But probably not as good as Frank Sinatra because he's like one of the greatest ever. But Marlon Brando, absolutely.
There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, and that's going to be exciting. Then I also believe they have Tosca. What is it?
Tosca,
June
yep.
14th and 16th. That's going to be interesting.
I mean,
know
Tosca is a
Nicholas
spectacular opera.
I know he's getting so excited for that. He
I mean, I
loves
like
opera.
Guys and Dolls, but as a traditionalist of the opera,
Yeah.
Tosca is just, you know.
Yeah, you're more of a classical guy. Yeah,
Absolutely.
And then July 1st is the festival at the Ting Pavilion.
Oh, that's right. That's
yeah,
right.
did you know about that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, no, I see it on my list. Obviously, Nicholas put it in there. So I'm like, July 1st, the festival at the Ting Pavilion. So, man, there's so much going on in
Yeah.
Charlottesville. It's going to be a busy summer.
Yeah, and please stay tuned on the Today Mañana social media because I think there's going to be a giveaway sometime in the near
a
future.
giveaway?
So,
What's the
stay.
giveaway?
You
don't
they
know.
Didn't tell me.
You're
They
the
didn't
one
tell
who's saying
They
there's a
never tell
giveaway.
me. They never listen. You're lucky. I know these things because you wrote it down.
You'll
for me.
get like a huge poster, fat head of Xavier. There we go.
No, I don't think that'll go very well over.
Then it's like I don't want to apply. It's like then we'll be like, no, we're giving it away. But I had a lot of fun today.
Oh, this has been great. Like I said, it was at the beginning show. This is kind of one of those interesting shows because there's the education.
Two very
part.
different businesses.
Absolutely,
I will say
absolutely.
that, yeah.
So you got the part where everybody should really understand about healthcare, right? And there are options whether you're under 65 or 65 and over. There are options, and you really need to get some help there because it's so important. And then Arepas on Wheels, I mean, I'm just so delighted that they've gotten to this point where they opened up a restaurant. I'm happy for them. Goes to show you the persevering, the passion that they have for what they do. That they're able to just overcome a language barrier because when they first came here, they didn't speak English very well, and now they speak English, right? And look what they're producing. I mean, it's just great.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Xavier, for being here on the
Michael,
show
it's
today.
been a blast. Thank you.
Thank you for Judah. We saw, as Alex likes to say, the hand of God come in a couple of times. So
That's right.
thank you. Thank you for helping us out with that and making us look good. Thank you, as always, to Jerry and the I Love Studios. And then, of course, thank you to our sponsors, Emergent Financial Services, Craddock Series Insurance, Castle Hill Cider. Don't forget the 231 Fest, as well as go to their website, check out all their list of events. Charlottesville Opera. Please do the same. You know, you have Guys and Dolls coming late June, and in the middle of July, you have Tosca, and then Yo Matias Realty, and as always, Forward Adelante, the premier Latino business network.
Maybe one of these
group.
days we have an event there too.
Yes, we should. That's on Alex.
I
Alex
think,
yeah. But yeah, so that's our list of sponsors. Thank you again to the audience, as always, who make this possible.
Absolutely,
Your
yes.
feedback, your questions, just you being there as viewers. It's always
And as always,
wonderful.
if there's anybody that you know that would benefit
Exactly, yes.
coming on the show and putting up with me, by all means, let us
Yes,
know.
please put them in the link on a Facebook or comment on Instagram, whichever. Yeah, especially if they're fruit people. As Xavier and I really love that. Drinking people, yeah, exactly. You could watch us eat and drink more. But thank you again, and shall we close as
Absolutely,
always?
as always.
As always, hasta mañana.